This woman appeared to be tapping the desk, but in reality, she was using a secret code to pass answers to her partner. However, when she flipped to the second page, she was suddenly stunned. The exam had been split into two versions, A and B. This was a last-minute measure by the school to prevent cheating. Amy and the rich kids hadn't prepared for this at all. She quickly tried to confirm with her partner, only to find that some had version A, while others had version B. With only 40 minutes left in the exam, Amy had no choice but to quickly finish her version of first, then pass the answers as fast as she could. Following her cue, all the students with version A got up to submit their exams at the same time. Taking advantage of the distraction they caused for the examiner, Amy quickly swapped papers with her partner and began tackling version B.
20 minutes left.
As time ticked away, Amy realized she had to complete a 60-minute test in just 20 minutes and still pass the answers. In her rush, she almost dropped her pen on the floor, but with only 5 minutes left, Amy finally completed version B and began rapidly tapping out the secret code, passing the answers frantically. Just as the exam was about to end, Amy successfully transmitted the answers. The rich kids managed to finish their finals without getting caught, but as soon as she left the exam room, Amy was called to the principal's office. It turned out that although her exam paper seemed fine, both version A and version B questions had appeared on her scratch paper. This was clear evidence that she had participated in cheating. Despite her father's repeated pleas, the teachers didn't show any leniency. Not only were Amy's grades nullified, but her scholarship was also revoked on the spot. This was a huge blow to Amy. However, Anna quickly brought her some good news. She and her boyfriend were planning to take the SAT, and if Amy could help them cheat, they were willing to pay her $3 million in return. This amount far exceeded any scholarship Amy had lost. However, the SAT was a globally synchronized exam, one of the most secure tests in the world. Even if Amy wanted to cheat, she didn't think it would be possible. But as soon as she heard the words globally synchronized, Amy had an idea. They could exploit the time difference, sending Amy to take the test in Philadelphia, where the time zone was 3 hours ahead of Seattle. Amy just needed to finish her test early and send the answers over, and the cheat would be complete. However, due to the SAT's difficulty, she would need an assistant to complete half the test and speed up the process. It was clear that Jack, the school's other genius, was their best candidate. Faced with the $1 million offer, Jack was instantly tempted and joined Amy's team without hesitation. The plan was for them to finish the test in an hour and a half. Amy would handle the first half, while Jack tackled the second. After finishing, they would have to memorize the answers and send them during the bathroom break. The rich kids in Seattle had an even simpler job. They would bring the required 2 pencils to the exam and use the answers to mark the pencils with a barcode system. The thickest line represented A. The thinnest line stood for B. No proctor would ever guess that a simple barcode held such critical information. With 4 sections of the SAT, all they needed were 4 pencils to secure the perfect score they wanted. After countless rehearsals, they had perfected the operation. Their daring cheating mission was about to begin. As soon as Amy and Jack entered the test center, the first thing they did was head to the bathroom, where they hid their phones under the toilet lid and secured them in place. Then, calmly, they began the first section of the exam. The two geniuses finished their respective halves of the test quickly and started memorizing the answers.
Time's up, pencils down.
They rushed back to the bathroom, retrieved their phones from under the lid, and sent the answers to their partners. Anna immediately got to work, turning the answers into barcodes on the pencils, then assembling everything with her boyfriend. But they couldn't celebrate just yet. The second and third sections of the test had no break in between, which meant they had to memorize answers for both sections simultaneously. This doubled the difficulty, even for two geniuses. It was a challenge. Finally, during the next break, Amy realized there was a long line for the women's restroom, leaving her with even less time to act. Meanwhile, Jack managed to get into the men's restroom, but suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
Excuse me, we're conducting a search of the bathroom. Please step out.
Jack panicked. He didn't say a word, desperately typing out the answers, while the knocking grew more insistent. Just as he finished sending the answers, the worst happened. It was all over. Jack tried flushing his phone down the toilet, but it wouldn't go down. Amy, on the other hand, was also being searched. Luckily, she had already sent the answers, so she calmly walked out, cleverly hiding her phone in her shoe. When Amy stepped out, she saw that Jack had already been caught. She quickly pretended to go get some water, slipped her phone into the water fountain, and nervously returned to the exam room. Now she was facing the final section of the test alone, without Jack's help. For the first time, she had to finish the entire exam herself and memorize the answers. This was a scenario they hadn't anticipated during rehearsals. Amy was trembling with nerves, tears nearly welling up in her eyes. To steady herself, she imagined the answers as a piano song, and by doing so, she managed to memorize them successfully. There was no break for the final section, and in the SAT, unless you're sick, you can't leave early. So Amy took her pencil and scratched her throat, making herself throw up her breakfast. Finally, she was allowed to leave. Amy quickly retrieved her phone from the water fountain and slipped into the preparation room, where she changed into a second outfit she had stashed earlier, allowing her to leave unnoticed. She rushed to send the answers to Seattle. Seattle. Suddenly, Jack appeared. It turned out he had handed over his passport to the proctor, claiming he wasn't going anywhere and would be back. Little did they know, all the IDs they used were fake. Together, with their genius minds, Amy and Jack pulled off this incredible cheating scheme.